Nick Cannon, Mornings Power 106. It's that time for up close and personal conversations. Yes, close conversations with people that I admire, fixtures in the game, and just people that have just made a staple on the culture. And these brothers have done all of that and so much more. And it's an honor and pleasure to sit and meet with some true hip-hop enthusiasts.
True, indeed. Yes.
From the Carolinas. Little brother, man. Pooh, Phonte. What's popping? What's popping? Salute.
Finally meet you, man.
Yeah, likewise. So, man, I almost, being a fan, watching y'all movement and stuff, I didn't know when the next Little Brother movement was going to occur.
Neither did we.
We didn't know.
Really?
Until we put it out.
Yeah.
So how did it all come back around? Because obviously you guys started in 2001, right? That's when when the world kind of got in
2001.
And because y'all went to A&T together.
Central, North Carolina Central.
Oh, Central.
Yeah, I
So
grew
not
up right
Aggies,
down the
y'all-
street from A&T,
Oh, okay.
but it was too close.
Central, okay.
We Eagles.
That's what's up.
But yeah, well, we met at Central in 2000. Actually, we met probably like 98, 99.
98, yeah.
Oh,
We first
okay.
met. And I was playing football at the time.
Okay.
And for Central. And I just got tired of it. I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to the league. I don't care.
Right.
Why am I still here?
Right.
And so me and him started hanging. We started making records. And I graduated in 2001, and we signed our first deal. I think it wasn't
02.
Yeah, it was just like a couple months after that.
Yeah.
And we put out our first album, The Listening.
Yeah.
And it just kind of took off from there, and we've been rolling ever since.
It kind of always been like that. Like, I don't even like to say underground, but that foundational hip hop approach. You know what I mean? Where people who really love hip hop and really, from the backpackers or to the boom bap, you guys kind of approached it with that, but then put some soul on it, being from North Carolina.
It's gotta be
most
soul.
definitely.
Yeah. So and then, we heard rumblings that it was no more, and
It wasn't a rumbling.
it was done.
It was
It was
reality.
done.
Yeah. When was it over? It was like
2010.
2010.
Yeah,
It was-
2010,
2010. Yeah.
That's a hell of a run right there, though.
2011 actually.
Yeah, that's a decade run. That's strong for
But it's strong, but you know what? In the business, and I'm sure you can relate to this, just like 10 years in the entertainment business is a start.
Yeah. That's
You know what I
facts.
mean? Like 10 years is when you just really
Some
start
people
to
don't
see
even know who you are until your 10th year.
10th year.
until 10 years. You're ready to quit. You're like, I'm tired of this, but that's when you're just starting to kind of see some daylight.
Yeah.
And at that time, right 2010, I think we were just burned out.
Yeah.
Because we were just churning and going, and it was just like, man.
Because when you on the real hip hop circuit, it ain't all about the glitz and the glamour. It's real work.
You got to put your feet, hands, elbows, knees, everything in
And
the
it's
dirt.
probably frustrating because a lot of people think just because you're a rapper that you automatically rich and you can provide for
Nah,
everybody.
man. This game, man, it'll make you famous before it make you rich.
Right.
You
And that's what a lot of people are
big,
chasing.
Definitely. now, yeah.
Yeah.
That fame, because they equate that to money. but
Yeah.
that's not how it works.
Yeah.
At all.
It's really debt. You'll get more fame in debt more than anything.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Because that's all the record deal is. It's a loan. It's debt.
a loan.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, bro. So when we were doing, we went through all that. We were on Atlantic Records, and they allowed us just to make the record we wanted to make.
Yeah.
And we took a record straight from our hard drives in North Carolina
To Atlanta.
We was like, yo, this is the album.
Yeah,
And they
that's
was like,
fire.
Huh? They was like, yeah. I'm like, this is the album. These are the singles. This is what we want.
We wanted to come out on this day, and
Yeah.
we did all that.
Wow.
So it was a good experience, man. I think the biggest takeaway from it, from me, just the first go round, I just learned that no one is ever gonna work harder for you than yourself.
Facts.
And there's no golden parachute in the game. Like if you think artists that think, okay, a label's gonna do this, a label's gonna save you, nah, save yourself. Ain't no one's gonna save you. At most, they'll put more behind what you're already doing. Like
Yeah.
maybe they'll do that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you pretty much have to have your own course charted already.
Especially in 2019.
Yeah.
Because it's the Wild Wild West out here now.
And then you say that like y'all back. I mean, clearly I know your fans are excited and happy, but what made you guys come together and be like, all right, well let's go one more round.
That break.
Yeah.
yeah, you
Like I
need a
mean,
break.
we took a break, but I mean it was a break. Like we didn't even talk for like 5 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so when we started speaking again, we were just working on brotherhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we ended up doing the show out of the whim. It was just like a once in a lifetime opportunity that happened, and we did a show. And after that show, I went to his house and we just sat and had a little barbecue, and we was just sitting there looking at each other like,
man, what we doing?
How you feel?
I think the time is right, man.
Yeah.
What you think?
Yeah.
And the next week we started working on the album.
That's
that
fire.
was October of last year.
Yeah.
It's October 2018, and we worked on the record up until I think like a week
August.
before it came out, August 20th of this year.
Wow.
So it was a strong about 8 months.
So what was y'all doing during the break?
Working, man.
Yeah,
But like working like
man.
a regular 9 to 5. Or?
I mean, nah.
I was doing at the time. I mean, I have another group, the Foreign Exchange,
Right.
which is a R&B soul group, and so I was touring with the Foreign Exchange. I was doing Questlove Supreme, the podcast with Amir.
Yeah.
We was actually trying to get you on. Like,
yeah.
for a long
I
time,
remember we was
couldn't
trying to
get up.
lock in on
Yeah,
that a
I was
couple
like,
of
yo, we
times.
got to get Nick. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm doing that with Amir. I was doing like voiceover work, just for commercials and stuff. Everything.
So was it like, yo, I'm just not in the music? I'm not rhyming
man,
no more?
I never. It ain't a day in my life I ever stopped rhyming.
Right,
Like,
right.
Ever. It's just in the game, if people know you for one thing, they may not follow that thread if you do something else.
Facts.
So you know what I'm saying? It's like it may be people. It's like, oh, what's Nick Cannon? Like they don't know. Like
They don't.
How
They
much
may
you
only
got.
know me from this, but don't know all of that.
Exactly. The
Facts.
dots don't always connect.
Yeah.
And so that was what it was for us. So when we came back and we started making records, people were like, oh, man, y'all sound just so refreshed. Y'all sound like y'all never stopped. It's like, well, we didn't.
Yeah.
We
What
just
was your
weren't working
grind?
together.
Yeah. What was you doing?
I putting out solo records.
All right.
Ended up starting a management company.
Oh, okay.
So I managed. Congratulations to my artist Luke on Dreamville. They
Yeah.
just got nominated.
They got
for
Dope,
Grammy.
nomination,
Salute.
So,
Salute.
I was just doing that, man, and took a couple odd jobs. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because I know a lot of people who actually just win, because the industry is so detrimental to your soul sometimes that people, even if they're lucrative and making money in it, they rather just go get a 9 to 5. I know people that was popping. I was just like, man, I needed to go.
And there's no shame
do
in that.
a
No
regular
shame.
vocational, like they got car shops now. You know what I
I
mean?
need a
Less-
W2.
A barber shop.
It's less expectation, less pressure, less stress. It's just like, I just go
You can handle
work-
your demons a little bit better.
work on these cars,
Yeah.
and then I go home. I don't take the car work with me.
Yeah. Or people ain't coming like, hey man, when the new car coming out?
right. Nobody's checking for that.
Right.
When you fixing that next alternator? Nah, that's not happening. Nah, bro. It's. I think it's something, particularly now, and especially in 2019. I mean, a lot of artists that like they'll drive Uber or they got a little hustle. Like, I mean, I think that's just what it takes now, and I think it's.
Like I even
It
know
helps your
cats was
mental.
getting money, like as we know, like cats getting real money in music and went back to the streets. Like got their money and went back to the y'all got hustling is easy and safer.
It's safer.
You know what I mean? Like when,
I know that game.
Yeah, right, because
Because at least in hustling, there's accountability.
yeah, and there's principles, and you know what I mean. You lose your life if
none
you
of
cross
that.
somebody.
Right.
Out here in the music,
People
somebody
just try
is
to not pay you, and it's
yeah,
like how.
Yeah,
So yeah, dude. But yeah, bro. So it was a journey, but I mean, all through it all, I mean, we never stopped working on music.
That's
Never stopped
beautiful.
working on music. I was just always, this has always been my profession.
Yeah.
So, but it was just we were doing just a lot of different things, just kind of other hustles.
Yeah,
that were exciting.
And one thing, I mean, and you even touched on this just a little bit, and I'm pretty sure that every interview you guys are doing right now is everybody's talking about the North Carolina sound. North Carolina has finally arrived, and you guys being the ones that kind of helped pave the way. Someone who part of my upbringing is North Carolina. I still got a home there. All that stuff.
Yeah. Because you're
Charlotte.
You're Charlotte. Okay.
That's where I'm at now.
Yeah. So, from Concord, Kannapolis, I've lived all over the Carolinas. But, and that's what I was like, I never wanted to, now it's time to ride the wave, because it feels like, I remember when Atlanta was the wave, like early Atlanta, like I'm talking LaFace, So Definite.
Yeah.
Everybody started to migrate and gravitate towards with JD and Dallas Austin and everything
LA
that
Reid,
blossomed from there. It feels like North Carolina got that vibe right now, to whether it's the Baby, whether it's Rhapsody, whether Cole.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like the whole state is popping, and a lot of people want to, and rightly so, accredit a lot of that attention, and you guys were the beacon for that at one point, and the only ones doing it.
Yeah, we were kind of the lead blockers, man. I think just for a lot.
Petey Pablo might beg to differ, but
well, Petey. I mean, listen, all respect to Petey. You know what I'm saying? All love to Petey.
I mean, I remember at the time, me and Petey. I mean, we got records together.
Yeah, 'cause y'all was
we was the only ones from North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, and he was waving his shirt like a helicopter for North Carolina.
Yeah, man, that was something that for us it came out of nowhere. Like even because at the time that's what we were working on our first record, and he kind of came out. It was like, what? Everybody was just like, yo. So we be in interviews, and they be like, so. Tell us what it's like working with Petey Pablo. And like, what? We don't know Petey Pablo. Right. It was like that. But nah, man, he definitely was certainly was a beacon at the time, and that put us on.
Yeah.
And then when we did our thing, I think it kind of made a lane for a lot of artists that you see in now, like the Drakes, the Coles, Kendricks. Like they were the cats that kind of came up listening to us. And man, in terms of North Carolina having this renaissance now, I mean, I'm just thankful that the work, the kind of groundwork that we laid made it so these younger brothers, what I'm saying, can do their thing. You know what I'm saying? These younger, that's just, when you talk about a legacy, I mean, I think you kind of define it by like how many doors did you open for other people?
Facts.
How many people did you help? How many people, and even now, like, Pooh is very hands-on, like with his management. We'll talk to like the young cats. I get DMs all the time, like, yo, I got a question about whatever, and I'll try to answer as much as I can just because I remember what it was like when we were starting and we had no blueprint. We had no one to follow, like in terms of not making
How did y'all get y'all deal?
Internet.
really?
Yeah,
like we get everything else.
Yeah, like it was before social media and all that. It was just message boards and it was a dude we met on the message board, the OK Player message board, Brainchild.
Yeah, DJ Brainchild.
He put some songs up on his website.
First it was Slop. He put up Slop Funk Dust.
Slop Funk Dust. He put some up, and then Brainchild put some up. Yeah. And those songs ended up making it back to the message board on OK Player.
Wow.
And it took off from there. Cat,
so the organic way.
Yeah.
Very organic.
A cat from the Bay, Ian Davis, heard him. Called a DJ he knew in North Carolina, was
DJ
like,
Bum Rush.
Who are these guys?
Wow.
I gotta talk to them. And that's how we ended up getting our first deal with ABB Records all the way in Oakland.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's like the real hip hop story.
Yeah.
Like that ain't like, I uploaded it to SoundCloud.
Nah. This was even before that.
Yeah.
Because we were upset that he put them songs on it. Like we were
giving our songs away.
Ready to drive to New York and fight him for putting them songs up. But that ended up being the best thing that could have ever happened to us.
Yeah, we did. Like I remember I met like Jazzy Jeff, and that was, this is back then, like 04, 05. And he just was straight up saying, he's like, hey man, I've been burning your CD giving it to everybody. Like he was just giving it out. And that was kind of to me, looking back at it, and then, that was really just what the music industry was going to become. It was just about a sharing economy, which is all like streaming is now. It's just, people say, well, where can I find your album? You have my album. It's on your phone.
Already.
You got it already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it was, it was at that time, that was just seeing all that change. We kind of got in right before, like, it just completely fell all the way out, like around like 03.
Like we always end up like in the middle,
like,
right?
Like we were after the Raucous era,
the sound bomb and
all that. But we were before the Kendricks and the Coles and the Drakes. And then even then, and that's like it was right.
But they give y'all the love though. They show the respect.
Oh no, absolutely, you got the respect. It was just being in, and I'm sure like you can relate to it just in your industry, like nobody wants to be first.
Yeah.
Everybody's lining up. Everybody's lining up first to be second.
Yeah.
Like no one wants to be first.
Right.
So we were just at the time, it was very hard because no one else was around us that looked like us. Like our label mates at the time, I think it was like Twista,
Juvenile,
Trick Daddy. He was on Atlantic at the time.
Yeah.
And we were just
us.
Yeah, we just kind of stood out.
Right.
And they couldn't. There was no one you could package it with and say, okay, they're like this.
Right.
So it was a really tough time, but we gained a lot of respect and a lot of love from fans, and like that kept us going.
Right. And so now, it's two of y'all. And it's different from some of the other little brother projects. Like, what can the fans expect from this new project that's like, oh, no, that's the same, and then like, nah, but this is different?
Well, it's not really different, because like the thing about it is, you know, Tay say this all the time, like the two most important, and we've worked with some phenomenal, top-notch producers throughout our careers. But the two most important producers of Little Brother are the two people on the cover.
Us.
Right.
So y'all see, I, you know, obviously just thinking, I didn't know if Knife was the main or how it all worked out, but like
when we did, like when we first started, the listening of our very first album, that was like the first time, and I think it was really the only time the three of us worked together, like as a unit, like working together.
Got it. Okay.
Everything after that, from the second album on, from Minstrel Show on, it was, we would get beats from producers, where it'd be Knife, Crisis, Focus, just Illmind, Knots.
But y'all ill with the beats too.
We didn't know. No, we don't make beats.
We not makers.
But you
we produce.
You're on your Quincy Jones.
Exactly. Right. So pretty much, I mean, if a producer would send us a track, you know, in my mind, whatever they send, that's just a sketch.
So I'm like, we reformat it. We, you know, break it down. We tell them we want this in, add it, or take this out. Like,
well, bring in session guys to play stuff over it.
Yeah, because obviously, like you use musicians on your music as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
So that was kind of always the thing of just, you know, you're not taking away from none of the beat makes we did, but we were really always the ones that kind of drove the engine of what Little Brother was. And so when it came to us making a new record, May the Lord Watch, a lot of people heard it and they were like, "Man, it's so crazy. It sounds like a Little Brother album.
I can put it in the mix with all your rest of your albums and it sound the same." He was like, "Yeah,
that's supposed to."
Yeah. It's because it's us still driving it. So that was kind of the way it always worked out. That was the way we made those records.
Right. So what's the record y'all excited about the most on the project?
For me, it's probably Good Morning Sunshine or Work Through Me.
Okay.
I forgot. Yeah, Work Through Me.
Yeah, Work Through Me, man. Yeah. You know, Work Through Me it's always at least one song on each record that we do that whole, like, you always remember like where you were when you did it. And like Work Through Me, we had started working on the record, and we were writing, we were going through the concept, and we were online, and that's the same night we found out Nip died. And we were just like, yo, and it was just so, like, the fact that we were working on that record,
it colored that session so differently.
Right.
It's like put a cloud over it. You know what I mean? And we did our vocals. We wrote the song that night together, and we, you know, did our vocals. And I actually, you know, we would do the records, and then Pooh would leave, and so I would like kind of mix stuff while he was gone, and then come back and play it for him. And while he was out, I noticed a mistake in my verse. It was just something I wanted to enunciate, say a little better, but I didn't like it. And I tried to go back and fix it, and it just wasn't right.
Yeah.
It was just one of those times where just the energy of that night, like whatever we put down that night, that was what it was going to stay. That had to be it.
Right.
And it was a really sad night, man. I mean, I didn't know Nip personally, but it was just to see that happen in real time. Yeah, that was so crazy. So yeah, that was a special one for me. Work Through Me, those vocals. That was the night we cut it.
And I'd love to talk process for a minute too,
Sure.
like knowing, you know, I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but when y'all get in the studio, especially, you know, having to work with someone else and another energy, like, is it a beat and y'all both got to nod crazy to rock with it, or like you send him something, like how?
Now we did this album together. Like,
really?
We recorded out of his crib. He got a studio in his crib. I will ride up there because he live in Raleigh. I'm in Charlotte. I take the drive.
Yeah.
Camp out in his house.
Yeah.
We go up in the studio. We went through probably about 400-500 beats easy.
Really?
Before picking out. Yeah, and probably like 3-4 different iterations.
And then just people, just random beat makers sending y'all stuff.
Not well.
Did you put out the we working or?
We didn't. It was some artists that didn't even know they was on the album until the album came out.
Oh wow.
Like, we didn't tell nobody.
Yeah, we kept it close. We would just hit up people we had personal relationships with, and they don't ask questions.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I need some beats.
Send me some stuff.
And they send them, and then we'll go through them. And we just said at the start of the process, if we both don't agree, it don't make it.
Wow.
Yeah, because in the past,
that's quality control right there. You know, just based off
no compromises. Even going through the verses, like as we wrote, you know, we was definitely editing each other.
Yeah.
You know, making sure everything was tight. Like, it was no compromises on this record.
And it's still at this level of the game, y'all still give each other critiques on verses.
Dude, you have to. You have to, man.
Yeah,
like you gotta, like, you can't. I mean, the thing about it is just like, you know, one thing I remember a music teacher told me that was just, it always resonated with me. He was like, whenever you put out a project, it becomes the truth. Whatever it is, it's the truth. So Once you put an album out, there is no, oh man, I was sick this day, or
man, but see
we
what
couldn't get the
happened
mask.
was-
There is no but see what happened.
I
was.
lived that for real. They made me put out a kitty rap album. I've been stamped that forever. It was like,
Yeah, and that's you, and you got to live with it. And the thing
Yeah.
is, like, the audience is not forgiving of that because you had all the time in the world to get this right before it got to us.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it ain't no excuses. Whatever you,
You
put
gave
out,
them what you gave them.
yeah, you got to stand on it. So
I look at it like, you know, when a parent, you know, as a kid, when your parent would tell you something, you'd be like, come on, man, you tripping. You'd be like, your parent is trying to tell you what's best for you.
Yeah.
And so it's the same way when we working. Like, here, like, yo, I think you should do it this way or pronounce it this way or maybe change this word up. And I didn't take offense to it because I'm like, he's looking out for what's best for me in
Yeah.
that moment. And that's just how we approached it. We just went through the whole record that way.
Oh, that takes humility to
yeah,
admit and approach it that
because
that
it's
way.
because it's about the music. You can't, like, you have to remove yourself from it. Like, your
Yeah.
ego. I think ego has a place in art. Like, if you're an MC and when you sit down to write something, if you don't feel like you the illest to do it,
Yeah.
then you in the wrong profession.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like,
that's
no
real.
one that's a professional that, like, is a master in their craft. Like, Denzel Washington don't sit down when at a movie set and be like, oh, I hope I do good on this role.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he like, nah, I'm about to body this joint.
Yeah.
So you have to have that, but after that, it's about the music, and you have to do just what serves the music best, and that has nothing to do with my personal feelings, his personal feelings. It's just like, yo, man.
But see, like, I feel like that's a different generation. That, like, your mindset is, it's almost like if we put this in the context of jazz, like, it's like you might the difference between, like, there's the swing era, the bebop era. Like, I feel like now we're kind of in that, like, cats don't care. They don't write verses, you know what I mean? They make sounds.
Yeah.
But even that's an art and a skill set as well. Like, that's why I always equate it to jazz, because if you think about jazz, being able to bounce on a record with your instrument, that's kind of what they're doing vocally.
Yeah.
So they ain't taking their time with their lyrics. They just in there.
It's about a feeling.
Yeah,
Like, for
they
us,
catching that wave.
Yeah, for us, it was about our generation. It was solely being MC. It solely meant just like what your words are, just in the
Right.
in the traditional sense, is like your words, your rhymes make you the MC that you are, and it's about your content.
Right.
This generation, I feel, is just more about context.
Yeah.
It's just, how does it make me feel?
It's the vibe.
It's the vibe.
Yeah.
Which
It's the
and there is a place
There's
for that.
something to that.
You know what I mean?
But
I try to
it's
find a
so
medium.
much content out there. It's so much because everybody catch a vibe different every day, but and people are listening to different vibes during different times of the day.
Every day.
You know what I mean? So it's like, so in an environment like this, where does little brother live?
We live for people with mortgages. Like,
So is that like adult contemporary hip hop? Like,
If
I've
you
been
wanna-
hearing
if you
that
wanna
term
call
being
it that,
used before.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, we're 40 years old, man.
Right.
I can't make music to appeal to kids that's 20 because I don't know what 20-year-old like now.
Yeah.
I have an 18-year-old son. I know what he likes now. I don't want to do that. I'll listen to it with him and I say, but nah, bro, you have to.
Y'all not in the same game.
We're not, and we
At
shouldn't
all.
be.
Right.
Shouldn't be.
We shouldn't be.
Now,
Like,
again, that's why I go back equating it to jazz, because if we treat hip hop the way that the reverence that we have for jazz, there's a way to have modern jazz. There's a way to appreciate the Miles, and you ain't mad at Kenny G when he come in and get a crazy bag. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Do his thing.
because it's the way that genre has grown over a century.
Yeah.
Hip hop should now be laid out in that same way.
It should be, yeah. I mean, and you even see it. I mean, it's like when you even using the term adult contemporary hip hop.
Right.
That's something that I don't think anyone ever thought would happen, because no one expected rap music to last as long as it did. So it's like, if you look at rock music, you got every, if you go on, a radio station, they got classic
Punk,
rock,
metal,
alternative rock, punk,
yeah.
metal, AM
Soft.
rock, you know what I'm saying, soft rock, you know what I mean? But hip hop in a large way is just black culture in general.
Yeah.
We don't get that latitude to be that flexible. It's either Young, Turn Up, 21 Savage, or Tom Jones and the Morning Cruise.
Well, yeah,
like,
right.
it's no in between. It's like, dude, there's
Because they
a whole
always say
generation.
hip hop is a young man's game. That's what it's always.
It was.
Right.
But now, again, nobody expected it to last this long. So now you look at all your rappers who, like the dudes, 2 Chainz, whoever,
Yeah.
Hov, whoever. These niggas,
Ross.
it's a 4 on that thing, cuz.
Yeah, Ross.
It's a 4 on it.
It's easy.
Hey, look.
Jay might got a 5 or a 6.
Listen, in the tens place, right. Nigga, look. So yeah, bro, it's just I think that's just a conversation we're now just starting to have because again, no one saw it going this long, so no one knew what a 40-year-old rapper would look like, or let alone a 50-year-old rapper. I mean, LL, you look, man, these dudes he was 16,
Too Short
17.
said it, Too Short at 40, like all of them dudes come in here and like, yo, Too Short put out like his first record in like 84.
People used to talk
still,
about
and still popping.
Still do it and still sound the same. He's still Too Short.
I remember seeing the joint on Twitter the other day, and it was talking about the game when the game had the rhyme talking about Jay was like, you know, you 36 or whatever. Like we talk about that's old, and I'm like, yo, like people used to really be like, yo, I get 30 something, it's over.
Yeah,
I gotta let it go. It's like,
but it's a different art form now.
Way different.
Yeah,
and it's a different art form and it's a different discipline. I mean, you know, it's not like basketball where you hit a certain age, it's just like, homie, your knees just ain't gonna do it.
Yeah,
you know, hip hop, just rap music, it's competitive, it's mental. If you sharp up here, and you want to get some bars off, you can get them off. It's just you have to still be sharp up here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's an intellectual approach, and it's about your foundational appreciation, and that's what I think. That's what, you know, I no longer refer to it as underground hip hop. I call it foundational hip hop, just based off of those are the fans that stay with you forever and have that appreciation of all the things that we talking about.
Yeah.
So
if you build organically,
they rocking with you forever.
You always have that base. The numbers may go up, they may go down, but you will always have that base.
So what's the Little Brother show look like?
Man, no games, no gimmicks.
No gimmicks.
Not rapping over our records.
So you just
come on, man.
Yeah,
nah.
see,
I
that's
ain't
that young
rapping over
boy
no vocals.
stuff.
Yeah, bro.
ain't no vocals. No vocals.
Yeah.
No vocals. It's a lot of energy. It's two MCs and a DJ.
Yeah.
And we go for broke.
And what's the audience look like? Is baby mamas in the crowd?
It's baby mama, hell yeah.
Mamas, it's couples.
So it's a date night experience.
We tell people that like you can come to our show. It can be a date night show, and both the man and the woman can feel like
because now obviously y'all got
you know
classics, y'all. So it's a little nostalgic. Y'all give them that, but then y'all give them the new stuff based off of we got mortgages.
Straight up and down.
Come get this work.
But nah, we don't play, man. We get in, we get out. We ain't
It ain't 15 openers. We have the DJ. We have a house DJ. Then our DJ come on for about 20 minutes.
Right.
And then we come up. We rock for about an hour 15, hour 20.
30, whatever.
Go home.
Yeah, you can be home in bed by midnight.
And speaking of, y'all got a show out here in LA right now.
Yeah, the Regent.
The Regent.
Yeah.
It's
And that's a venue. That's a real joint where people go to the Regent and kill that joint.
Yeah, this is our first time performing there. Normally, like we come out here, we would do El Rey.
Okay.
We did. I think the Troubadour.
We did the Troubadour.
We did Troubadour our very first time.
Yeah.
We did House of Blues when it was up.
When it was up. Yeah.
But nah. So yeah, we'll be at the Regent
I might want
Thursday.
to come check on the Regent on Friday because the building might not be standing. I'm just saying.
It's gonna be nuts, man.
Nah, that's fine.
Man, LA has always shown us love. It's always been like one of our top cities, and we just always got a lot of love out here. And people, they really just seem to understand like what it was, just the spirit of what we were doing.
Facts.
So when we come to LA, we know this ain't no bye week.
There's some real hip hop enthusiasts out here, and some people who respect the foundation. So and you guys are clearly fixtures in it. And it's been a real conversation, an authentic conversation. But y'all see, I got my vest on. I can't let y'all go without shooting from the hip, giving y'all some real questions.
Let's go.
Now, and you answer them however you want to answer them. We just pick up the pace. It's like speed chess with this. Right. It's called the Firing Squad.
Okay.
And we always start with the psychological question. They said there's only really two emotions, love and fear.
Okay.
Which one would you rather be, loved or feared?
Loved.
Feared.
I like that balance. I like that.
Yin and yang.
Yeah. Speaking of love and fear, what's your greatest fear?
Greatest fear. My greatest fear is not being able to get all my artistic ideas and out before I'm gone. Cool. Just not seeing all of the
having
things I
so
want to
much
come to
inside
fruition.
You. Yeah.
I would say that was it.
My greatest fear is not reaching my full potential, whatever that may be.
Okay, that's similar fear right there.
I got to reach my final form, cause
yeah.
I mean, so that I would say that just not doing that, not reaching that.
All right, lighten it up. Favorite movie of all time.
Wow, man, that's a hard one.
Favorite movie of all time.
It's probably God, man, I don't even know, bro. Like I like Coming to America.
Everybody say that's not. I feel like if we did
that's a black yo.
Yeah,
bro,
if we did like the stats, I think that's the one that gets the most
Yeah,
favorite movie is Coming to America.
I go between that, Harlem Nights, like
one of them Eddie joints.
yeah, one of them Eddie joints.
If I had to say favorite movie, my God, man. If I going back, and you as an actor, I'm sure you probably know this movie.
Yeah.
A Soldier Story. I don't know if you.
Ooh, with Blair Underwood.
Not Blair.
No.
Denzel and
was
David
in
Allen
it.
Greer.
Yeah. But it was
Howard
kinda,
Rollins. It was based
David
on a
Allen Greer. Robert Townsend was in
Robert
that
Townsend,
shit?
yeah.
I mean, that
That's
was like
just-
before Glory, or it was like right at the same.
Oh wait, that was like 80. Yeah, that was like 84.
Yeah,
It was 84.
that
But
joint was ill.
yeah, that's a hard flick. I used to watch that. My uncle had it on VHS, and I watched it as a kid just because I was excited to see so many black people in the movie. But once I got it, like you watch it as a kid, but then watching it older and you understand what it's
What
really
was
about.
really going
it's
on.
like, oh man. So that's one of my favorite movies of all time. So
Nah, absolutely. I'd probably say Wolf of Wall Street.
You like Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it too.
I'm a
like,
Scorsese dude, so for the longest it was like
have you seen The Irishman yet?
not yet. Is it crazy?
I ain't seen it. I ain't know. I
Yeah.
thought you might have had the plug on.
I mean, I ain't had time to, but I want to check it out. But it's like
I'm waiting on that.
to see Scorsese on Netflix. That's gonna be
That's nuts. I still want to see it on the big screen. Though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
yeah.
it's like it's worthy of seeing.
I mean,
on
it's
the
Scorsese, Pacino, De Niro,
And
and
Pesci
Pesci back, and
Yeah.
like Pesci's like the star, right? Like,
yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah,
And
so-
yeah, that one. Yeah, but Scorsese. Yeah, I mean, Goodfellas, Casino.
Yeah,
those
like
movies, I
those
will
were my
watch
favorites
those
until
whenever.
Wolf of Wall Street came out.
Really?
Like, oh, he's
Wow.
speaking my language now. Like,
Wow.
just because it was like Scorsese, but with like our generations, like it had the
Yeah,
80s feel on it.
Gotcha,
so
gotcha.
I was like, I could rock with
Have
it.
you seen this movie? Have you seen Parasite yet?
Nah,
Go see it.
really. What's it
Ain't
about?
nobody got no. I ain't just go into it blind.
It's just
Really?
gonna see.
Don't even like,
Parasite.
Parasite, man. Look, ain't nobody got no spoke for that movie in 2019, bro. It's the illest shit.
You can say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yo, it's the illest shit out. Like it's go see it, dude. I
Alright.
can't stress it enough.
I'm on that. Best piece of advice you've ever received.
Be you all times.
At all times, man. Best piece of advice I ever received. Oh man. Pay your taxes, nigga.
Ah, facts.
Shit.
Worst piece of advice you've ever received.
Worst piece of advice I ever received.
Oh wow.
Man, sign that deal.
Yeah,
Definitely that.
yeah. Understood.
This deal is fine.
Yeah.
It's good, man.
Favorite cuss word.
Shit.
Fuck. It's just it's the
You on
frickin'
death row. It's your last meal. What you eating?
Love that chicken from Popeye. I'm gonna be fully stereotypical.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a 2-piece
biscuit.
spicy.
I need fried chicken. I need some mashed potatoes and gravy, some mac and cheese, some collard greens. I need
You've thought about
cornbread.
this.
Yeah, he's like
And then
trying
I
to elongate the process.
I need dessert as well. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
I need me a piece
eating
of pound
rice
cake.
one grain at a time.
Piece of pound cake with some vanilla bean ice cream and some sweet tea.
You
There it
really plotted this out. I'm amazed.
That's my favorite meal, man.
There it is. Biggest guilty pleasure, or just guilty pleasure in general.
I don't. Well, with that said, I don't feel guilty about things that give me pleasure.
All right.
Let's just preface with that. But for the terminology, my favorite guilty pleasure is probably 90 Day Fiance.
Word.
That nigga.
What?
If you ever want to see a show
That is
with
just
desperate people making increasingly horrible decisions, bro,
That's that.
90
90 Day Fiance and Love After Lockup. Oh
I've
my
seen
god,
the Love After Lockup. I rock with
nigga.
that.
Yo, it's cringe. It's great TV. It's trash TV, but it's great because they set it up so good because you just see
You see
it
the
just
train
going
wreck
down.
coming.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it.
Mine is a reality show as well, but mine is Marriage at First Sight.
Oh, that's kind of the damn same show. 90 Day Fiance and Marriage at First
Oh,
Sight.
yeah, no, it's to another level because they're actually married.
Right.
The first time they meet each other.
Right.
Like, yeah, so that's my
It's
guilty
like
pleasure.
Tinder gone wrong.
Yeah.
That's
Way
funny. Funny. Most prized possession.
Man, my most prized possession. My most prized possession is probably not necessarily for me, but my college diploma, my graduation from
From Central.
from Central. I graduated magna cum laude in 2001, and I think my mother, I just gave her my degree because I knew it meant a lot to her.
Yeah, that's
so
fire.
I would say if I had to name one, that would probably be it.
That's what's up.
My most prized possession is probably the test pressing for my first album, first single.
That's dope.
First Little Brother single, because I never thought this would be my life.
Yeah.
So that's probably my most prized possession.
That's dope. Speaking of, one album that you can listen to for the rest of your life. No other album can play.
Yeah. If I had to pick one, if I just had to just pick one, I would probably go with Kinda Blue by Miles Davis. Just because, yeah, man. Just that was I used to play that record with my boys. I have my sons, and my boys are 18 and 14.
Yeah.
And so when they were younger, I picked them up from school and it was homework time, that was always the album that I put on.
Create the
and
vibe.
get them, and they just be at the table working.
Yeah.
And, and sometimes I just don't like words. I just don't need a nigga talking to me or singing or anything.
Yeah.
So that would give me some, So yeah, that one.
Set the tone.
Man, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
One album. You only get some Stevie Wonders, a gospel joint, some Shirley Caesar.
No.
so
DJ Quick Rhythmalism.
Yeah,
maybe.
DJ. Yeah, mine probably be Safe and Sound. DJ Quick.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Because Quick Scoop 3 is my favorite Quick Scoop. So
Yeah.
Safe and Sound's the one for me.
My favorite Quick album is probably Rhythmalism. But
Really? Over Safe and Sound?
Yeah, man.
Now Rhythmalism was hard. That run from the second album up to like Balance and Options, like that 3-4 album run.
He was killing.
See, I would go Safe and Sound and go all the way back to
Quick as the Name.
Yeah.
Quick as the Name. I was in 7th grade that came out. You had
Shit, yeah, I was right. No, shoot.
I was in 6th
Quick as
grade.
the Name was probably
that was 91,
92. Yeah,
right?
91, 92. So I was probably like 6th grade.
Yeah, we should not have been listening to Sweet
Black
Black
Pussy.
That should not, bro. I was
out hood.
What came up the other day? I was in the room. I was listening to oh my God, I think it was like Ghetto Boys or something. It was, and it just no, it wasn't Ghetto Boys. It was NWA, Niggas
for Life, and then where he was eating it, and she swallowed it.
I was like, why was I listening to this at 12 years old?
Live Crew, so.
Yeah.
I got a beating for listening to Live Crew because my mom found my tape.
That was the first CD that I ever had.
Really?
Like, I had my first cassette was He's the DJ, I'm the rapper.
Nigga, let's talk about it.
But my first CD was Two Live Crew with the ass.
Yes, as nasty as they want to be.
My first CD was Doggy Style. My mom, she bought me a stereo, and she had to buy a CD for me, and it was between Doggy Style and the Tevin Campbell.
Did she
album.
know she bought Doggy Style?
No, because what happened was she was with her boyfriend at the time, and he was like, "Don't get him Tevin Campbell, get him the Snoop."
Right.
She liked the Snoop, whatever the single was.
There's
at the
nothing
time.
but a G
Had
thing.
no
But it was
idea.
the
She saw
radio version.
Yeah.
So when she's like, "Oh, put my song on." And I was
Oh,
like,
boy.
"Ooh!" I put that thing. And she was like, "I should take that CD back." I said, "Nah."
Yo, I got my dad was preaching at the time. I was living in North Carolina, and he heard, like, my mom sent me because mom was cool. She sent me the Snoop Dogg cassette, and he heard it, and he's like, "This is possessed by demons." He burned it.
Wow.
He literally had a seance, like he was speaking in tongues over it. He's like, "Oh, shout out, like speaking to demons." He was like, he said the Snoop Dogg cassette was demonic.
And then Snoop made a gospel album. I would love to hear your father's thoughts on that.
Nah, that's
Wow,
crazy.
man. That's
So, you're on an island. You only can take 3 things. What you taking?
Desert Island joint. I guess if I took headphones, that's kind of, I'm gonna need something to listen to with the headphones. That's 2 items. I'm thinking about
music.
This is
You can
Hunger
be
Games.
euphoric.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, so I'll take I take something to listen to music on. I'll take some antibiotics.
Smart.
And I'll take oh my God! Well, I can't take a phone because that's kind of
Why not? You take whatever you want.
I mean, if you're a desert island, I don't know. Is the service from
Those
Rise
those reality shows and Naked and Afraid.
Bro, that used to be my guilty pleasure too. Just because I love white people just doing white
naked.
people shit.
Yeah, right.
Not naked, but it's just like when they do the profiles. It's like,
I just be wanting them to fuck. That's the whole thing I be looking for.
But it never happens.
It never happens. I was like, sometimes somebody gotta go Naked and Afraid
But do
and
you
have a
really
baby.
want that after like like 12 days of unwashed vagina and penis.
That's what I be wanting at the crib. Now, if I was there, it'd probably be different.
Yeah, that's that thing humming. But yeah, brother, I don't know if I don't know if I want the apocalypse pussy. But
Definitely.
But I did used to watch that show. I did. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Did you see the episode where the black guy was on it?
I think I did.
It was a black dude on it, but you could tell like he grew up around white people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Because he wasn't like a nigga. He was a black guy.
Yeah, because you're all naked and afraid. We don't need to make our lives harder. My life is enough of an adventure for me, regular.
When I wake butt ass naked.
Yeah, I don't need to play it on God mode. Nigga. Just let me play the game how it came out the box.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I would just take fucking music, antibiotics, and like and clean draws.
There it is.
Music, some books. And shit.
Marriage at first sight.
Nah,
The box set.
Give me the box set. I need them all. They like on season 8, so that'll be a good watch. But probably is a shit, man. I said books. Man, probably some weed.
I was about to say, you gotta
I'm
elevate your
all
mind.
the
Man.
levels,
I just
nigga.
be high. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trapped on a damn desert island. Yeah.
You need that. Worst job you ever had?
Worst job I ever had. Worst job I ever had was probably it was probably working customer service. Customer service jobs are the absolute worst.
Trying to
Because
please
all
other
you meet
people
is-
for
all you meet is crazy people. Everyone's
minimum
angry when they meet
wage.
you. Yeah, I worked at an insurance company, just kind of answering phones.
Yeah.
And processing claims, and and it was hard because these are people's health that you're talking about.
Right. So you had to take it kind of seriously.
Yeah, you had to take it
understood their
seriously.
frustration.
Yeah, because there's dire shit at work. So a guy calling you and is like, "So I'm looking here, and it says that you're not going to pay any more money for my wife, and she has cancer."
Yeah.
And it's just
that's
you know what I mean?
That's
I'm
heavy.
like, dude, so yeah, that shit was tough, man. That was really like just emotionally like hearing these people's stories.
Yeah.
And it's also
and
seeing
knowing
just how
that you
health
got to
insurance
do
works.
your job and like trying to
And you
separate
can't help 'em.
yourself from humanity. Ooh, that's
Yeah, I hated that shit. I got out of there quick fast.
yeah.
Mine was Burger King.
Same thing. Just separate yourself from humanity.
I worked at Burger King for like a day.
Yeah.
And I quit. I was like, nah, I can't take this shit.
So you beat it before the Impossible Burger.
How about that? Have you tried it yet? Have you tried the Impossible
Not the
joint?
Burger King version. I've had.
I had the Impossible, really the real. I've had that too.
that's it. Yeah, but
I've
like,
had the
I ain't
real
had the
version.
Impossible
you know,
Whopper.
vegans are suing Burger King now because they're cooking Impossible burgers
On the same grill.
that they
you
cook
have
meat on.
You have to request to not put it on the same grill. So if you don't know not to request,
Because them super vegans. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Super vegans don't want nothing.
You're not.
even
You're
that,
not.
though,
You're not a super vegan if you're going to Burger King.
Bottom line,
Facts,
facts,
Impossible
nigga.
Whopper.
Yeah, like,
you're
you
not
know.
a super vegan. You're supposed to be eating raw veggies. and
Yeah.
fruits if you're a super vegan.
Yeah,
Nah,
fuck
that's-
them people. Like, how you gonna get mad? Like, no one goes to Burger. First off, even Burger King having an Impossible Whopper. Like, dude, I get it. Cool. No one goes to Burger King because they want to feel better about their health.
Right.
Like that's if I
This is
go
all
there,
a scam.
Yeah, I'm making a choice that
I'm
okay.
gonna get an Impossible Whopper with a big thing of fries that's cooked in hydrogenated oil.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just-
and a
Some high
Diet Coke.
fructose syrup, a whole gallon of that
Yeah.
to wash it down.
Yeah, it's like if you're there at Burger King, you pretty much made your decision in life, and you want it to be over soon, and that's okay.
That's fine.
Leave the rest of us
It's
out
pleasure.
of this shit.
It's pleasurable.
So yeah,
And of course, I'd be remiss, sitting amongst true hip hop legends to talk about top 5.
I know this is
You
common
got to do it. We got to do it.
top 5.
Top 5 what?
Influences on you. I'm not gonna say top 5 MCs at all.
I always put my list up because I love to watch people argue about who I like.
So
But
you just gonna say top 5 MCs?
yeah, I say top 5 MCs is for me. It's Big, it's Jay, it's Nas, it's Scarface, and it's Q for me.
That's a hell of a 5.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a 5. I'd agree with probably with 3 of those maybe.
man.
But they all respectable.
Yeah,
top
I mean,
5.
yeah, you move them how you
Yeah.
different people move them in different places. But for me, those who when I even when I go to listen to an album, when I go to make an album, I go back and I listen to my
those,
favorites
yeah.
to figure out I have to know why was this a classic? Why are you revered? Why do I like this so much? And I try to bring pieces of that into what I'm doing. So
Bet.
yeah.
Man, for me, I would probably go with off rip Rakim. Just for me, that's Alpha and Omega. I'll go Ra. I definitely put Jay up there. I would go with just as a complete artist, like Q-Tip is up there for me.
Wow. You don't hear Tip a lot.
That's different.
He's underrated, man.
Yeah,
Tip
even as a
like,
producer.
And you
that's
feel
what
me?
Cats don't give him as a producer.
He's mean.
He's a
Yeah,
beast.
dude did Midnight Marauders, then like the next year did the Infamous.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, man. That's, you know what I mean? So yeah, I gotta give Tip his. Scarface definitely is on mine as well.
Yeah.
And then I would probably say, like, real rap. Like, she don't really get the love like that, but to me, Queen Latifah is like, just as a career. And like what she was able to do, like, bro, to go from Ladies First to Cover Girl, nigga, do you understand how? I mean, you know what I mean?
But now that's real.
That trajectory of like, come on, man, like she did a jazz album and like played Hollywood Bowl, doing like, man, Latifah, man, people gotta give her flowers, bro.
Yeah,
so
facts.
if I just had to name 5 just off the top, I would probably go with them today.
Yeah, it's like mine is always changing. So.
Who's yours? So who's yours today? Who you on today?
Today, Jay.
Okay.
Cube.
100%.
Favorite or top? Are we just going numbers?
Either way, favorites. Yeah,
because your favorite is your top.
Yeah, but top because I bring statistics into it.
Right. Now we'll just go
favorite.
Favorite,
yeah.
Tops is
yeah, because
if you bring statistics in, nigga,
Eminem
Vanilla Ice could be the
Eminem would be in my top, but not necessarily
your
my favorite.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but I would say J, Q, E40 is definitely a favorite.
Absolutely.
Slick Rick and Snoop share a spot for me.
Okay.
Like,
I can see that.
Yeah, for the same reasons. You know what I mean? Just influence. Damn. And this right.
It was your wild card. It was 5.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Andre 3000. It was Pocket 3000. Yeah, I couldn't.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
I'm gonna go 3000.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's different. Those are favorite. Now top 5, I would go Eminem, Jay-Z, Pac, and then it'd be a toss up from like Nas or Big, Cube, that in there.
Cube to me was just such a great storyteller, man.
First of all, I would say Ice Cube is probably the greatest storyteller of our generation.
Look, man,
easily
from Friday to Death Certificate.
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood, you know what I mean? Like just his level of storytelling as a filmmaker, as a producer, as a writer.
And you could hear that in his rhymes.
Yeah.
Like you could hear, I mean, my summer vacation
pictures.
on Death Certificate, like nigga, that's a screenplay. Like that. I mean, yeah, Cube was Death Certificate. I played the hell out that record. He's definitely up there for me.
And then since we talking legacy, and it's how we always end the Firing Squad, and I'll let you guys collectively come up with this. One word that describes Little Brother.
One word that describes Little Brother. Shit. Man.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Consistent.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, it's, we've been through a lot of shit in the game that probably would have broke a lot of niggas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But we just kind of stayed true to who we were. And it's just something I say just to artists, the young cats coming up all the time, man, you got to define yourself for you.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that before you get in this game, other people's going to try to define you for them.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's how niggas end up on drugs and damn on these pills and shit. Cause you know what I mean? So define yourself for you, man, and don't let nobody take you off your square. If you believe in it for what you want to do,
stand on it.
Stand on that shit. Fuck everybody else.
There it is. Phonte Pooh exemplifying perseverance, consistent.
And also let me say, like, for real, just let me give you your flowers, man. Like just as man. Just a fellow cat from NC, man, like seeing the moves you made and just your career. Like I don't know if brothers give you your flowers as well, man.
That's love. That means a lot coming from y'all indeed. The one and only Little Brother on Nick Cannon Mornings, Power 106.